Hey guys, what's up? Welcome back to Corpse Party. So now she is in Kisaragi Academy by herself at 7 o'clock, and we heard some creepy shit, and let's get to it. The middle of the school is already pitch dark. I guess there's really no one around right now. And this hallway feels longer today than it ever has before. Was it always like this? Can't imagine I'd ever be on time if it were. I continued my brisk walk down the impossibly long hallway towards my goal, jumping every now and then again, and wherever another thunderclap sounded. Kisaragi Academy was compromised of both a middle school and a high school, and this evening it really felt like it was flaunting its massive size. It didn't help that my classroom was in the high school wing, which happened to be past the middle school, making it that much farther away. When a building that usually was full of life goes completely quiet, it becomes such a lonely place. I swear, I could hear every drop of rain. I was focusing on the few sounds around me as I paced down that long, lonely corridor. Then, all of a sudden, I heard a faint noise as someone was playing an organ. That was just my imagination, right? I mean, it had to be. There's no way anyone would still be here practicing, right? I took a deep breath, trying to calm my nerves. It was approximately probably the sounds of the rain, wind, and thundering mixing together, and it just sounded like an organ. That's all. I was convinced. I kept walking. But then, I heard the same noise again, this time much more clearly. It was unmistakable. No way. I was paralyzed with fear. My heart was pounding as if it was struggling to break free from someone sinister's grip. It was probably just someone devoting member from the band or teacher who's working late. They're just being stupid. Thinking about it, I vaguely recalled someone mentioning the upcoming performance of the wind instrument club. I guess the organ would qualify. Somebody must have just stayed late to practice. That's all. Sigh. I can't get this damn ghost story out of my head. I took another deep breath and tried again to calm my overly jittery nerves. Anything can be scary if you think it is. I heard that if you let your imagination run too wild, fear can make you see things that aren't there. And my imagination was most definitely running wild. And I was almost there. I might as well sprint the rest of the way. I decided to dash towards the classroom so I could get out of this hall as quickly as possible. With that transition, finally reaching the familiar door and swiftly opened and flicked on the lights. Alright, I made it. Now, just about absolutely certain I don't leave here without that pencil case again. Thanks to that unexpected pauses to freak out over the thunder and lightning, it took me far longer than it should have to get there. It was already well past 7. 7 o'clock, huh? It was a point in time when a ghost of teacher was supposed to appear, at least, according to school legend. Sigh. No undead educators here. I let out a bit of sigh of relief and relaxed my shoulders a bit. The lights were both on inside and the classroom out in the hallway. Sure, it had been dead silent, but the fear I'd been feeling had completely melted away. Yeah, there's nothing to be afraid of. The 7 wonders aren't real. I grabbed the pen case I'd come back for and shoved it into my pocket. Okay, mission accomplished. With the long ordeal behind me, more or less, I looked around the classroom and let out another sigh. I'd only ever known the classroom when it was bustling with activity, and thus found this eerie silence of utter stillness to be oddly fascinating. With such a strange feeling being alone in this classroom like this, I got the idea in my head to try doing something I normally wouldn't be able to, like standing on the teacher's podium and writing on the blackboard. Chances like this don't come around too often after all. To me, this area behind the podium, for which teachers conduct their lessons, was a sacred space. I dreamed of standing there myself one day, and could hardly resist its pull when presented with a rare opportunity like this. Well, no one's looking. To my classmates, this would have been such a silly, stupid dilemma, but it didn't change the way I felt about this moment. Should I or shouldn't I stand at the teacher's podium or not? Alright, let's save, and if I fuck up, we can choose the other one. For now, we'll stand at the teacher's podium. How can I pass this up? It's a chance to feel like a real teacher. I decided to try this. During daily cleanup and such, I'd come and gone from the spot countless times, but this was the first time I'd ever opportunity just standing here and preside over my classroom. So, this is how it looks to be a teacher, huh? Kind of awe-inspiring. Gaining a teacher's point of view in the most literal sense, which was standing in to get me really fired up. This was silly now. This was a stage. This is where all my dreams would play out someday. I began to imagine the future that awaited me. Painstakingly detailed some new piece of knowledge for students sitting attentively on their desk, gliding the chalk across the board, filling it with information to aid them on their studies. I sure hope I can make the cut one of these days. I was getting so excited that even I began to think my behavior was a little strange. Maybe I was juxtaposition of these joyous, freeing visions and the pickling dread I'd been feeling up a minute or two before. But then, in the blink of an eye, one of these two confounding emotions completely overpowered the other. Whoa! Crap, is this a blackout? Suddenly my surroundings were bathed in darkness. Going stiff in shock, I stumbled back a step. My back struck a blackboard with a dull thud. What an awful timing. Yeah, it's definitely awful timing. Instinctively grabbed a hold of the rail where the eraser sat. I felt chalk dust against my fingertips. I panicked. My panicked heartbeat was making it difficult to breathe. Was this caused by the thunderstorm? If so, I sure picked a fine time to turn the lights out on me. And what's more, I can hear the sound of the organ. But no, it's an electric organ. How's that even possible? You must not go! What was it that the old woman was trying to warn me about? That's impossible. There's no fortune teller or psychic. As far as I was aware, how could she possibly have known this would have happened? Hell, even if she was a fortune teller or psychic, predicting the future is the stuff of science fiction. I shook my head. I need to calm down. Maybe this is just a wing that I lost power and the music room is still okay. That's still possible, right? I curled my chalk dust fingers in the fist and silently tried to talk to some sense into myself. I've got to get out of here. I shouldn't have been playing teacher. I should have been in and out by now. Cursing myself a little, I fumbled my way through the darkened classroom. I spent so much time in here. You'd think I'd be able to find my way around of my classroom if my eyes were closed, as it were, but sadly that wasn't the case. Smashing loudly into a desk and knocked inside and began tumbling after it. Instinctively, I grabbed at other desks around me for support. Oof. Damn it, sounds like I knocked over a lot of stuff in that desk. Guess I need to put everything back. Bad decision, girl. Still fumbling around blindly, I gathered up all the scattered notes and textbooks and writing utensils. I can't tell what's what. This is so embarrassing. What the heck am I doing anyways? Wasn't I supposed to be hurrying home? I'm such a klutz. I let out a sigh. I seem to be doing that a lot lately. Okay, this is a textbook. This is a notebook, right? I was just trying to take inventory of all the things I've knocked over in the desk, then realized why. I might as well just stand it up and stuff it all back in. I couldn't possibly organize it properly to absolute darkness. Better just be apologized tomorrow to whoever sits here. Not that that was a particularly pleasant prospect. Explaining that what I've done wouldn't be easy, and no matter how I sugarcoated it, it would serve as a clear indication of my clumsiness. If I didn't say anything, it's like I'd been found out, but that would be the same thing as lying, as far as I'm concerned, and I couldn't do that. Okay, I think I got everything. I placed my hand against the floor and swept around, feeling if anything I might have missed. I found something, alright? Ew, gross, what is this? It's all slimy. I clearly brushed my fingers across something, but I had no idea what it is. It was no notebook or writing implement, though, that's for sure. Why would anybody have something like this in their desk? Maybe it had been on the floor all along. What is this? I rubbed my sticky fingertips a bit deeper into the wet spot and then found my hand up close to my face so that I could get a better look at what it was. What on earth did I touch? Blood. Woo! There was a flash of lightning almost immediately joined by the roar of thunderclap. And with that, for a split second, the pitch dark classroom was lit and bright as day. Oh my god, is that blood? I shot to my feet, utterly mortified. In that split second, I've gotten a very good look at my fingers, and it really did seem like it was covered in blood. But it wasn't just my hand. No, it was peripheral vision where, to be trusted, it looked like the entire classroom was stained in deep, dark crimson. Crap. It kind of smells like blood in here, too. Without thinking, I backed out away from where I was crouching. I tried rationalizing what I saw. How could a whole classroom become a bloodbath like this? Did something spill? Did someone stumble in here injured? This isn't possible. It can't be. I mean, how? The whole room was quaking. I fled from the classroom. Or rather, I tried to flee. What? Why won't it open? No, please, no! I don't remember locking it, and it isn't locked, so why can't they get it open? I pulled on the door handle again and again in a frenzy. I was pulling so hard, it felt like my fingernails might tear loose. But it just wouldn't budge. What? Why? Please! I was absent-mindedly grabbing at my hair with one hand and slammed it against a fist in a nearby desk to the other. This was a nightmare. No! What is going on? Silence saturated the inky blackness of the room. I took several deep breaths in an effort to restrain my pounding heart. Calm down, I have to calm down. I'm probably just panicking because the door won't open. I'm sure it's just a misidentified whatever that on the floor. I mean, it's preposterous, right? There's no way something like that could be. I was certain that when I saw what was come morning, it ended up being something totally random, like someone's old soda-stained gym clothes. That has to be. Yeah, I probably just brushed against someone's paint for art class or something. My imagination is just running wild because I'm panicking. And the door is probably just something caught and that's all. I decided to check out my hypothesis by feeling around the desk and determining if there was anything jutting out of from any of the cracks. Damn. Not sure if I can do this without being able to see. I fumbled around the gaps in the door, but I just couldn't make anything around that way. Maybe there's another exit. No, this was the 3rd floor. I couldn't get out of here without exiting the hallway. Let me out. I want out. I'm still at a loss. I noticed a sudden flash of light through a hallway window. But it was a glass, so it was translucent, so I couldn't sure of its source. Is someone out there? There came a distinctive clomp, clomp, clomp of footsteps. Of course, it must have been the custodian. I recalled the existence of the custodian who always patrolled the school grounds. I'm sure he was probably taking a look around after the sudden power outage. Great, I'm safe. All at once, my fear-addled legs regained their strength, and the nightmare would soon be over. Excuse me! I shouted at the custodian at the top of my lungs through the window. Excuse me, I'm trapped in here. I had to be sure he heard me. I shouted again. Finally, I could see the light in the hallway again, and it seemed to be getting closer. However, something's not right about this. Protrude. I took a step back from the window. It was a flashlight. Shouldn't it be brighter? It kind of looks like a faint, unearthly glow, classically attributed to spirits. Was what I was thinking. I tried to stop myself from finishing that thought. However, the dullness aside, it looked like it was wiggling around in a very unnatural, flashlight-like way. On those footsteps, clomp, 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 4 clomps, and then 3 or so second interval, then another 4 clomps. They sounded like a fixed rhythm. That's no custodian. No one walks like that. The fear was back in full force, and I had to find somewhere to hide. Fuck. This is scary. What intentionally summoned something so inhuman? I mean, whatever that was, I begged it for help. I literally invited it in. I need to hide. But where? Alright, well, that is going to be the end of this episode. I'm going to have to look up the walkthrough. But thank you for watching, guys. I hope you enjoyed this, and I will see you guys later.